Happy Wednesday. Let's talk about the belly of the beast. Yesterday, we left Jonah inside a big fish after he was thrown overboard from a ship during a violent storm. Today's lectionary reading from Jonah 2 shows us what happens next. After being stuck inside the fish for 3 days, Jonah begins to pray. He prays, "I called to the Lord out of my distress, and he answered me. Out of the belly of Sheol I cried, and you heard my voice." Sheol is the Hebrew word for the underworld, the realm of the dead. Jonah thinks that this fish is going to be his tomb. It's hard to fault him for that. It's pitch black, he's trapped, and he's been completely swallowed up by his circumstances. But he ends his prayer with a cry of thanksgiving. Deliverance belongs to the Lord. And then the fish barfs Jonah up onto the beach. The fish wasn't a tomb. It was God's wildly unconventional rescue vehicle. Hold that thought as we turn to today's New Testament reading in Matthew 12. The religious leaders come to Jesus and demand a sign. They want to put out a fleece, just like Gideon did on Monday. But Jesus says no. He says the only sign this generation is getting is the sign of Jonah. He tells them, for just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the sea monster, so for 3 days and 3 nights the Son of Man will be in the heart of the earth. Jesus takes the darkest, loneliest, most claustrophobic moment of Jonah's life and claims it as the defining metaphor for his own resurrection. Remember, Jonah had no idea he was inside a rescue vehicle for this mission. He thought he was dying. When Jesus was buried, the disciples had no idea his tomb was a rescue vehicle for humanity. They thought it was over. Neither ending was the ending anyone expected. If you're sitting in the dark right now, you might be feeling like you're in a tomb. But the sign of Jonah tells us something different. It tells us that deliverance often begins in the absolute pitch black. What feels like a tomb might actually be God's most unconventional rescue vehicle yet. Hang on in the dark today. See you tomorrow.